What's up to the world? It's your boy Tommy Man. I just came to talk to you guys about the Lakers situation. Um, as far as the playoffs in general, but start out amazing playoffs. Western Conference is just packed with just great series. Warriors, Suns. That's just so much in that one. I'm sorry, Clippers, Suns is so much, with Westbrook and Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? Then even if they win, you know what I mean, you still end up with, Clippers and the Warriors or the what's the name? The Suns and the Warriors, which is also a great one. I think that it would have been best if the Warriors got the 8th seed, right? They got the 7th seed now, which means they have to play the Memphis Grizzlies, which, if you want to ask me the worst matchup for the Lakers, you would have to say it would be the Grizzlies. The Lakers can jump shoot, but they're not a jump shooting team. It's almost like the Memphis Grizzlies are the antithesis of everything that they do well. Memphis shoots threes well, and they play defense well, and they protect the rim, right? So consistently, the Memphis Grizzlies are going to win when it comes to shooting, right? You're not going to hit the shots consistently that the Grizzlies hit. They have a stretch 5 in Jones okay, I think his name is Jones. I can't remember. I forget his name. But you know what I'm talking about. I think it's Jones or Johnson Jr. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But you all know what I'm talking about. That starting center. Defensive player of the year probably this year. The guy can shoot the three better than Anthony Davis can, and he can protect the rim better than Anthony Davis can. Now, in the post, is he better than Anthony Davis? No. Mid-range, I would say no. Offensively, he's not Anthony Davis, but he can stretch the floor and hit the three. He can guard the perimeter, not as well as Anthony Davis can, but he can do a little bit. But what the biggest problem is that he can protect the rim. And you got a guy like that can protect the rim. And you ain't talking about when he comes out and then you got Adams in there. So, the Grizzlies is not, I understand that the Lakers are not going to phone in a playing game against the Minnesota. I understand that. But it seems like Minnesota did that. Everybody keeps saying, well, why would they suspend whatever his name is, Gobert? It's like, yeah, they were suspending and I want to play the Memphis Grizzlies. It makes perfect sense. Now, do I think that it's a smart idea? No, because you never know. You might lose your second game. You know what I mean? So New Orleans ain't no joke. So you might lose that game. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to phone that game in. I don't really get that. But I can understand if I had a choice out of 7th and the 8th seed, I would take the 8th seed. The Denver Nuggets are coming off of injury. They don't really play great defense. You know what I'm saying? It's two teams on the West that really don't have rim protectors and don't play great defense. That's the Sacramento Kings and the Denver Nuggets. Right? The Memphis Grizzlies play great defense. The Suns play good defense. The Clippers play good defense. The Lakers play good defense. You know what I mean? It's very few teams you playing that ain't gonna give you an outing. But I would say the one, if you want to play a team in a 7-game series, it would be the 1 and the 3. And then the Nuggets, I don't have a lot of faith in them beating any team that plays good defense, because they don't play good defense and they have to give up offense for defense, and they get a lot of their points through transition. And they're not a great half-court offense and they don't play great defense. It's the same thing with the Sacramento Kings. And I've said this all year. It's easy to beat teams when they don't have time to prepare for what you do. Meaning they only play you once and then they might not play you again for another month or two. Especially if they're in the Eastern Conference and in the Western Conference, still you might be not play them another 2-3 weeks or months. You know what I'm saying? It just does not. You just don't know. So it's very hard to cater to a offense and strategize against an offense that I ain't gonna spend all the time because we just played on Tuesday. We got a day off. It's like, what am I gonna put in a day that's gonna help me by Thursday? Not to mention they usually taking team flights to these places, so they ain't really got time to practice. So they're showing up, and these teams are winning. And when you play a team that like the Rockets, or the Rockets used to be with D'Antoni, I mean, they play a different style. Meaning they up and down the road, up and down the road, up and down the court, up and down the court. They're just running, and that's cool until they run into a 7-game series. And the team's gonna force you to do what you don't do well. They're gonna throw the Sacramento Kings down. The Warriors gonna do that. They're gonna throw them down, and they're gonna force them to play half-court offense. And in doing that, the Sacramento Kings have never really thrived playing half-court offense. They generally just they get their money in transition. Sabonis, yeah, you can get him, but he's not overpowering. He's not somebody that you really gotta. That you gotta look at giving you 40 if you don't guard him right. You know what I mean? You can let him get his 26, 27 and still 27 and like 11 and still deal with everybody else. Because they give up so many points on the other end. It's like they'll have a game with De'Aaron Fox will have 30, Malik Monk will have 20, Sabonis will have another 30, and they still lose by like 20. Because they play a style where they score a lot of points, but they don't play no defense. So if you want to play anybody, and worst thing probably for them to play is the Warriors, because the Warriors can fill up, can get points like that. It's probably the worst first round game they can have. I think the series will end up being, anywhere from 4-0 to 4-2. Do I see them getting 2 games? It's possible. Do I think that and it might even be the first game that they win. But in the long run, I think once the Warriors figure them out, they done. The Suns and the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, I don't give a crap what you say. They can't guard Devin Booker. They have nobody who can guard Devin Booker. I'm putting Bones Highland and Terrence Mann on Devin Booker. He's just going to shoot over top of him over and over and over again. And they can try to play defense, but when the minute y'all try to crash down on Booker, now you got to deal with CP3, and I think it is heavily going to rely on how much he brings to the table. If he come out there half-stepping like he's prone to do, where he's playing half-stepping like, do I do it? Or do I feel like playing today? DeAndre Ayton will end up giving you 12 rebounds in the game, and some games he'll end up giving you 2. It just depends on what he feels like doing that day. He's not a person who fights for rebounds. He's a person who grabs rebounds as they come to him. He's not a person who looks for his offense most of the time. He's just a person who kind of follows up other people's offense, and that's fine if that's what they need. But playing against Zubac is a person who fights for rebounds. He is a person who fights for position, and I don't know if DeAndre Ayton is going to want to deal with that 7-for-7. But if he does, which I think he can, fight for these rebounds and do what he does against Zubac, because Zubac really isn't that great of a defender. He just kind of sits in the and he kind of just sits in the paint. So, and with a jump shooting team like the Suns, I just, you're gonna be hard pressed to teach me. I can't be ahead with that. With Russell Westbrook not being able to shoot a 3, and all these guys. Yes, the Clippers shoot a lot of 3s, but they saying Paul George ain't gonna be back, and if Paul George ain't gonna be back, I just can't see a scenario where the Clippers win. I will say that Russell Westbrook tends to play really, really motivated when he plays Kevin Durant. So that's something. But it's gonna be hard for him to, like I said, he's gonna take jump shots to keep pace with he's gonna take threes to keep pace with the Suns. I don't think the Clippers got a lot of 3-point shoot. I mean, they shoot a lot of threes, but their 3-point shooters are not the most consistent 3-point shooters. And shooting mid range and this, that, and the third, that's great. But I don't know if they gonna beat the Suns in a jump shooting contest. And best bet is work Chris Paul. Russell Westbrook works Chris Paul on offense. Defense tires him out to where he can't really run the offense, and then they force to play ISO with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, and that to me, after 2 or 3 games, that starts to wear on those guys, having to find their own shot, or same difference, put Devin Booker, put KD in the box, all these things, you're gonna have to work them on defense, tire them out, and then on offense, they have those dead legs where their shots are falling short. But that's their best bet. And do I think the Clippers got the talent to do it? Not without Paul George. If they had Paul George, then yeah, you can work Devin Booker on offense, and you can work Chris Paul on offense, and you can work DeAndre Ayton on offense, and get him in foul trouble, and we'll see how far they can get. But as far as how I think it's gonna go, no. I think it's gonna win 4-1. If not 4-0, like I said, 4-0 to 4-1 is my prediction in that series. I just don't think the Clippers have the chemistry nor the talent to hang with the Suns in a 7-game series. Russell Westbrook shooting is way too inconsistent. So is Powell, and they really gonna rely on him without Paul George. So, but if they could get the first 2 games are at the Suns. If they can steal one of those, Paul George comes back around game 3 or 4, they might be able to stick in there to get to be a true threat. But I feel like if the Suns go up 2-0, it's probably done. Because it's like it's too hard to think that the Suns, even with Paul George, it will win 4 games in a 5-game series. I just don't see it against the Suns. I would see them maybe winning. At the best, they might win 2, but I would give the edge to the Suns, especially if they already got 2 in the bank. They only need 2 games, and I just don't see them stopping the Suns from winning at least 2 more games the rest of the series. It just don't fit. The Lakers I always talk about Lakers and the Grizzlies. I just don't like that matchup. I hate that matchup. I would rather them play the Nuggets, get the AC than play the Nuggets. Not because I don't think they can beat the Memphis Grizzlies. I just think it'll be easier to beat the Denver Nuggets. With the Memphis Grizzlies, I would be surprised that series doesn't go 7 games. You got 2 of the best defenses in the league right now. Ja Morant is a shooter, but Ja Morant can take you off the dribble as well. And you won't have some hell trying to keep him out of that paint. Keep him from attacking that rim. Truth of the matter is, the more he does it, he does tend to get hurt more. But it's not like they're a terrible team when he's not there. They're still a really good team even when he's not there. But when he is there, he just throw another 30, 40 points on top of what they already given to you. You know what I'm saying? With just their role players. So I think they equal out. I think it's one of the worst matchups the Lakers could have had. It would have been so much better if the Kings had beat the Grizzlies, and then the Kings would be the 3 seed. But the Kings would be the 2 seed. But That's one of the reasons why you try to fight for the top seed, because you never know how things are going to work out. And the way it worked out, they end up having to play the Grizzlies. And I think a lot of these teams didn't want to play the Grizzlies. More people saw the A seed as desirable than the 7 seed. Because the 7 seed is just, I don't want to play the Memphis Grizzlies. And that's that. I think that it comes down to, like I said, the 3-point shooting. Can the Lakers beat them? Of course, the Lakers can beat them. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers beat them 4-2, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it won 7 games. These are all possibilities. That's the point. You don't know. The spectrum is so crazy when you're playing a team that matches up so well with you, because a lot of times it's going to come down to a possession here, a possession there. And Memphis Grizzlies has the first 2 games at home. If the Lakers can steal one, then I think that it'll probably end 4-2. But if the Lakers end up losing the top 2, then I think it's gonna go 7 games. I think it'll go 7 games, because I just don't see how the Lakers are going to be able to win 2 games at home and then 2 more games when they've already shown they struggle playing at the grindhouse. Like I said, it's just, to me, it's just kind of like a terrible. Like, for the Memphis Grizzlies, it's terrible because it's like, oh yeah, you fought to get the number 2 seed just so you can play one of the hottest teams in the league right now at the 7 seed. Right? It's like, yes, you go by the whole entire season. I understand that, but it's like, that's your punishment. You originally get punished because the Lakers didn't give a shit the first half of the season. And so, because they didn't give us the first half of the season, now we got to end up playing one of the better teams in the playoffs in the first round. So it's unfair, because if they lose in the first round, it looks bad. But really, you playing a team that's a Western Conference, even an NBA Finals threat, and NBA champion threat, let alone a Western Conference Finals threat, and you playing them in the first round, because they didn't get their crap together until the middle of the year, and now you playing them. Now, does it change? You're going to have to play them anyways. Yes, but I'd rather lose to them in the Western Conference Finals than lose to them in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody looking at the season like it's a success if we losing in the first round. It just ain't happening. So, I can understand it. I can understand the frustration, of the Memphis Grizzlies, but also the Lakers. It's like you fought back from 500 to play the Memphis Grizzlies in the first round. It's like, it's kind of what you deserve, yes, because you put yourself in that position with the terrible off season y'all had. But it's not a great matchup for them. The Lakers love to attack the rim. That's how they get their rhythm. When they shots not falling, they just force their way inside. It's gonna be real hard to do that against the Memphis Grizzlies, because they play. That's their style. They play that. Like, come on, we try to get in here. They got some big, strong perimeter guys and a defensive player at the rim. It's gonna be real hard trying to think you're gonna be able to muscle. Now, LeBron is a beast. Anthony Davis is a beast. You know what I'm saying? They can do what they do, and we got the 3-point shooting now to truly counteract teams doing that to us. But I don't know how consistent that 3-point shooting is. It's like the Clippers; it comes and goes. You know what I mean? Like, one game is there, the next game is gone. And it's like one game it seems like they can't miss, and then the next game it seems like they can't make a shot. But that being said, I do also want to talk about LeBron, man. It's like, he scored 36 in that last game. And you sit there and look at a guy doing this at this age, and it's just getting so ridiculous at this point. I heard somebody coming out of the woodwork. Who is it? Shell Sonnen or whatever his name is. That piece of crap. Who is another? I swear these guys get jobs for just being there. Like, what the hell has this dude ever done? I mean, why is he even considered a UFC legend? Who has he ever even beaten? Like, what has he achieved as a UFC fighter to make him seem like he's a legend? He's just, to begin with, it makes no sense that he's a legend in UFC, because I don't really see what he did in UFC. But he comes out and he says that that LeBron takes this type of thing. I don't know what it was, but it hasn't gotten any traction, and so a lot of the right wing diddleweeds are coming out saying, "Oh well, why in the world would he not? Why wouldn't he? Why isn't the media taking it? Because nobody. First of all, Shell's son, and hearing from his friend that LeBron uses this drug, when people have told you from the get-go, LeBron is notoriously scared about using. And right now, they're talking about doing surgery, and LeBron has never had a surgery in his life because he's very, very, very scared of doing anything that has anything to do with affecting the way his body naturally heals. So I seriously doubt LeBron, who has been freaking an athletic freak from the time he was like 3, thought he needed performance enhancing drugs like Shell Sonnen. It's like on his face it sounds stupid. LeBron James, who's been athletic since and to cover it up, these idiots have went back and said, well, how do you know he wasn't using steroids in college? First of all, LeBron weighs 260 pounds. This is for people who don't understand this, right? If LeBron was using steroids, weighing 260 pounds, do you know how freaking big he would be muscle mass wise? Like, people kill me. It's like people just don't even understand. LeBron, if anybody, when I went to UF with Al Horford, right? Now, in basketball, when you put Al Horford against a bunch of skinny guys, Al Horford looks big. But if you put him, when you see him walking around, Al Horford is skinny. Like, he's actually pretty skinny. But most of the time when people are seeing this, they don't understand that. They see these guys against other basketball players and immediately assume they're big. LeBron is not that big. And he's definitely not if anybody's ever seen anybody who uses any type of steroids, their bodies are sculpted. LeBron James has a natural looking body. His body is not disproportionate. He does not have huge this, huge that. No, he just has a normal looking body. He just looks like he does a lot of, like, he has more of a CrossFit body than he does a muscle tone body. It just doesn't look like. So if he's using steroids, one, what is the steroids helping him do? But like I said before, I've heard this said a bunch of times. Anytime people want to discredit somebody that they can't discredit, then they start to go to dirty pool. And that, to me, is what I find it to be reprehensible. It's like, don't go to dirty pool. But anyways, I ain't really got time. I'll talk about it more probably on a different date. But please, comment if you want. Thumbs it up. Let me know how you feel, if you like it. And please, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. All right, y'all. Peace.